Anyone.
Anyone.
Anyone can be underrated.
Can be underrated.
As fuck.
As
You are now tuning into the latest episode of the Underrated as Fuck podcast.
Hosted by the one and only Bliss.
And you already know, Mighty Zay.
What's up, y'all? We are back. Just myself and Mighty. We're doing a little gang talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This could be a long podcast. This could be a short podcast. We're just going to have a conversation.
Only time will tell.
So, important stuff. This is Mighty's fight week. Well, tomorrow. Tomorrow is officially fight week because it's Sunday.
Officially, yeah.
So
Officially.
we're like preparing to about to get into that fight week. So speaking of fights, let's get into UFC 300 a little bit.
Damn. Yo, UFC 300 tonight. That's actually tonight. We're watching it. We want to B-dubs?
Probably.
Yeah. So I think we're going to B-dubs to watch that. It's going to be a super exciting. The coolest thing about like the main card is how much emotional baggage is behind it of the main fight.
I was just gonna ask you, like, why is this such a crazy fight? You know what I mean? Like, what is so insane about this? Because like I look at the card and I don't really recognize a lot of these names.
Right.
You know what I mean? This
So-
must be something big in like the fighting community.
For the most part, like let's just say if you're staying active for the fights, like UFC, who's up and coming, who's this, who's that. The biggest thing for this fight moving forward is the emotional baggage for the main event. And the reason why they made this the main event is because at the end of the day, Jamal Hill beat Glover Teixeira for the belt, relinquished his title because he had an injury. And
So,
then all
like,
of a sudden,
who is Glover Teixeira?
Glover Teixeira is Alex Pereira's coach.
Okay, and that's the guy he's fighting.
And that's the guy that he's fighting, the
Pereira
current
versus
champ.
Hill. Okay,
Yes.
so you said Hill knocked out Pereira's coach.
No, he didn't knock him out. He pretty much
Or he
won.
beat him.
Yeah, he beat him.
Okay.
Unanimous decision, ended up winning that fight. It was a crazy fight, insane fight. A little later on, he ended up rupturing his Achilles, so he had to relinquish his belt. He didn't have to, but he did because he knew that was just the right move to get the division moving forward. Even though that division is kind of cursed since John Jones left, but we'll leave that topic
And
for
he
another
did
day.
that when he hurt his Achilles.
Right.
Like he got injured, and he just the belt's up for grabs.
Yeah. So pretty much he's gonna
Okay.
let that weight division kind of flourish, and then he's like, I'm gonna get better, and then I'm gonna come back and take whatever's mine. Because he never lost the belt. So right now it's like whoever wins this fight is the real champion of this division. Because he never lost the belt, but he doesn't have it right now because he relinquished it to injury.
Right. So it's important for him if he wins this, because then it's like, okay, that's rightfully mine.
Right.
That
right,
kind of thing.
Right.
Okay. And then also he will have beat the apprentice of the coach that he originally beat.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
So that's dope. So tell me a little bit about Pereira real quick.
So Pereira, he has a huge background. He's known as the guy that pretty much he's Stylebender's boogeyman. He's Israel Adesanya's boogeyman. Like,
So when you told me that before off the record, that's how I was like, oh, okay,
that's him. Yeah.
Because Adesanya, I know who that is. You know, you've talked about him. We've seen him fight, whatever. This dude, I'm not super familiar with.
Yeah, this guy comes from a
I
very
guess
prestigious
he's
background. Yeah, he's the
Pretty
shit.
badass, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's only had, what is it?
Well, from what you put up there, you put that.
I think 11, no,
Oh,
9
like
fights.
total fight,
Yeah.
professional fights.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think he's had like 9 fights in the UFC, and he's already
Like 4 of those.
a
are
champion for
Stylebender's.
2. Oh my god. So like, and then he has
See, why does
He has 2 belts.
He seems pretty fresh as far as professional UFC fighting.
yeah, he's
Is
pretty
he or no? Like
for,
his record that you put on the board. What is it?
it's 9-2.
9-2
For
Is
UFC.
that- why does that seem like kind of a rookie for UFC? Is that?
I mean, it is, but he's been able to build the right momentum moving forward to put himself in the right position to contend for said titles.
It's like he entered the UFC, knocked out some big dogs, and then now he's big dog. Like,
I mean,
quick,
in a
like,
way.
just quick. It's like, all right.
Well,
here we
Israel
go.
Adesanya, he was the one that was just like the most famous for doing what he's doing, and everybody knows Stylebender for doing what Stylebender does, and Stylebender doesn't lose. So the fact that he kind of Pereira saw Adesanya kind of being like, no, he's up there being a top dog. Like, I could do that too. I beat him multiple times. I beat him
How
three
do you
times.
just be a boogeyman of like a great fighter? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you just be somebody's kryptonite? Like, I don't get that because like Adesanya is legit. He's like he's the style bender, right? He's the best. Like how do you just beat somebody like that and continue to beat somebody like that? Does that mean that he
Raw
can pretty
power,
much
raw
beat
skill.
anybody, or does he have a kryptonite too?
I think everybody has a kryptonite because at the end of the day, Israel Adesanya did knock him out too to retain that belt again. But when somebody has your card, when somebody has like your info on you, like when somebody has that beat on you, your rhythm, they just know how to control you in the fight process. They know how to speak your language.
So it's a mental thing?
I mean, the fight is 100% always a mental thing. 98, 95% a mental thing.
And 5% punching.
And 5% active. You know what I mean? So it's like, how am I going to pretty much instill my mentality onto you?
Isn't that weird? Like, I'm just speaking hypothetically, but like, imagine Pereira, the boogeyman of Stylebender. Imagine he just puts that tiny bit of self-doubt into Stylebender. You know what I'm saying? Just that little bit of self-doubt to the point where he could lose against it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
there has
like
to
you're
be
saying,
that,
like
right.
that mental thing. Like, this fool knocked me out a couple times. Like,
It's like, how do you go about
your mind
fighting
has
it
to
again?
be in a different spot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right. With that being said, I would have to say, for this fight being as big as it is, for the main event for UFC 300, they built Alex Pereira so well for the UFC. And so now with Jamal Hill and everything, I feel like Jamal Hill is very underrated. Like, out of all fighters go, out of all champions go, he's the most underrated.
I'm not familiar, I'll be honest.
Exactly.
I'll be honest.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I feel like I am surrounded by this fighting community kind of, and I feel like I should know who he is, but I don't.
I mean, it's hard for, like, if you're not really interested in stuff like that or to keep up with stuff like that, it's hard to, like, stay in tune.
Like, I feel like we're going to have a conversation like this about every UFC card.
Oh,
It's like,
no.
now look at this guy, his backstory, and like you know, there's
No, this
always
one's-
another guy. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I definitely get what you mean by that, but this one in particular has emotional baggage behind it. And that's what makes it so good because both of these guys are top tier fighters. So it's going to
And
be
they got
really
some
good.
motivation.
They got some motivation.
Okay. I guess that makes a good fight, right?
Yeah.
When you got some like real reason to want to win. So, okay, so just to like put the cherry on top, what's Pereira's motivation to want to win this fight?
Hill beating his coach.
Okay.
He's pretty much carrying Brazil on his back to
Brazil.
overtake that loss that Brazil took from Jamal Hill because Hill has I think he's beaten 4 or 5 Brazilians. And then he beat Glover Teixeira for the belt. So it was just like a big thing. It was like a huge thing. So,
Okay, so I could see why that's very important to him. So what's Hill's reason or motivation for wanting to win this fight?
Because he's back from injury and now he knows how overlooked he is and how underrated he is, and he just does what he normally does, and I hope to see him kind of flourish in this fight. I don't know who I want to win, to be honest, because
And that's okay though, right?
yeah,
I mean you could like them both, and then
realistically, I think Hill might take this fight.
So you're leaning towards Hill winning?
A little bit, which is kind of crazy, but like I really enjoy Alex Pereira's reign as a champion, and I really enjoy how he fights and his style and the way he moves.
Well, me not being super familiar with the two dudes, I think beating Stylebender is very important, but maybe it's making him a little overrated in a way. I'm just giving you my
Like
perspective.
too much growth really fast.
Yeah. Or no, it's just like, oh, he beat Stylebender, so like he's the best now, right? Well, that's just one man. You know what I'm saying? He's still got more fights to get under his belt.
Well, he did just beat Yuri, and Yuri was like a pretty tough ass fighter.
I'm leaning towards Hill. to win this fight?
To Hill. So we're going for Hill. I mean, I'm just excited to watch this fight in general. Like this has me. I don't get too amped for fights, but this fight has me amped. Like
You've been talking about it for
I'm really
a
excited
couple
for
weeks
this.
at
And then we
least.
have the BMF title on the line, and then we have Zhang Wei Li. She's fighting.
So wait,
Crazy fight.
let's jump into that real quick. We'll try not to spend too much time on the whole card
Right now,
because
really.
I don't really know.
We'll
all
just hit the
these
three.
people. But what are some other fights that make this card like? You know
I'd have to say the BMF title fight. That's gonna be super dope. Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, bro. That fight is. This is gonna be a dog war.
I'm familiar with Holloway. I've seen him fight before. Gaethje was the one that's I'm kind of gonna get introduced to a little bit. I might have seen him fight before.
You've
But,
seen him fight
you know what I'm
before.
saying?
Yeah. He fought Dustin. He's known for like
Oh, he fought Dustin.
Dustin Poirier.
I'm a fan of Dustin.
Yeah.
And he beat him or
Yeah.
he lost?
He beat him.
Oh shit. Okay.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it.
This is a big thing.
So you told me before we
They
started
fought for the BMF.
Before we started recording, you told me, but what is the BMF belt and who's able to fight for it? How many belts are there? Like, what is the BMF belt?
So the BMF belt, there's only one BMF belt in the UFC as of right now. It's a bad mother effort belt. Trying to cut down on the cussing, you know what I mean? No, it's a bad mother effort belt. If you have that belt, like it's self-explanatory. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're gonna adapt that belt into other divisions.
I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
But also I couldn't tell you all these fighters' names, so you know what I mean.
Right.
How rare is it for fighters to be going up against for that belt? Like, you know what I'm saying? How often is there a fight for a BMF belt?
The first person that brought it through was. Why can't I not think of his name? Tripping. He had like the long hair. He's the one that knocked out Ben Aston
Oh, okay.
with the knee.
I mean, I don't know who
He
the
like ran
hell.
up on. I cannot think of his name
It's
right now.
okay.
Tripping. Anyway, so
If you know, put in the comments. But yeah,
it'll come to me.
So it was a while back, or
Yeah, so it was a while back, and that was like that was like when the BMF belt kind of got introduced. Was just like if you're a dog, if you're just willing to fight, and that's all you like, you enjoy fighting. Like if you're just a dog, like you're a dog fighter.
you got to be known or have a reputation as a bad mother effort.
Yeah, that's what you have to be.
Okay.
So, with that being said, I think the title has only been on the line, I want to say 4 times.
So how are these two guys just randomly fighting for it? Wouldn't one of these guys have to fight the last BMF?
That's how it got to here
You know what
now,
I'm saying?
because Justin Gaethje is the title holder for the BMF.
Oh, so he fought already and won the BMF
Yes,
belt.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dustin Poirier.
Okay.
Yeah, so they fought
Wait,
with that.
so they don't just make a random BMF belt
No,
and they're
no.
like, okay, get these 2 big dogs and go at it.
No, right, no.
It
that would be
still
like a
gets-
belt.
It still gets passed around to the winners, right?
Only the winners. And you have to be a bad mother effort for you to get even a title shot for that.
So what's the weight division in a BMF? Is that just variable? Like it's just under condition? Like, okay, we're gonna meet at 160, or you know what I'm saying?
I think it's only in one weight class, and I'm pretty sure is that lightweight? I think it's lightweight.
Imagine somebody having 2 BMF belts from 2 different weight classes, or 3 BMF belts.
Well, there's
Imagine.
only one.
Yee!
There's only one BMF belt.
So once they lose the BMF belt to the heavier weight classes, they can't get it back.
in a way, yeah. Yeah. So if a motherfucker were to come down and being like, yo, I want to fight for that. I mean, so Max Holloway, the thing about him, he's moving up in weight to fight for that belt.
Okay.
And Max Holloway, he's a champion.
So
Like,
then when
he's
moves
going
up,
in UFC
let's
history.
say he moves up in weight and wins the belt, and then he goes back down in weight to fight at his regular weight.
Right.
So then what happens to that BMF belt?
It has to go with him because he's
So
the
then,
BMF.
okay, so that's gonna now go down to the lower weight
Exactly.
class. And if somebody in the upper weight class wants it, they have to drop weight.
And see, I wonder about that because if, like, let's just say if it starts dropping a lot, let's just say, or if it raises too much, would they make another one? Or
I don't know.
You know what I mean? So that's
it seems
interesting.
like a foreign object that I
Right.
don't know anything about.
well, the cool thing about this is, let's just say, whoever wins this fight is going to be able to be the first person to unify the BMF belt with the undisputed championship. That's never happened before. So they have the opportunity to mix that in, and that's going to be really interesting.
And an
to see what's
undisputed
going on.
belt is just one belt.
Yeah, but it's two. You have like the interim champion, which is like you're basically like number one contender.
Head of the weight class, like
Yeah.
you're the number one dude.
Yeah, like you're like number one contender. Like you make number one on the rankings, so you're like the interim champion. Oh my god! And then you pretty much relinquish that belt whenever you get the championship. So you fight for the championship, you win that. But if you lose that, you lose both. So. You know what I'm
So
saying?
it's never happened where somebody has the BMF belt and one of the regular belts.
Mm-mm. This would be a first time, but it's just the precursor if that were to happen. So let's just say if he were to beat Max Holloway in this fight, he would be able to move up to fight, because whoever wins this fight is going to pretty much fight for the title now. So now it's just going to be really
They'll
interesting.
be up next to fight
Exactly,
number one.
exactly.
Okay. It's almost like a little cheat code in a way.
In a way,
Like,
yeah.
If you beat the BMF, you're gonna go straight to the top and compete against.
Well,
number
they're already in line to pretty much fight for the title anyway.
one. They're like top 5 or something, or top 10.
Well,
or
they're both tied for number 2. So he was Max Holloway.
Oh, so these are real bad mother.
Yeah, these are the like, you know what I mean? So it's really, this fight's going to be interesting all the way through. I don't know if this fight is even going to make it to the end. Like, because they can take punishment.
You think they're going to... Oh, wait, no, they would go to the end if they could take
I
punishment.
have no idea. Because they're both so crafty and elusive.
Well, I mean, if we know anything
accurate.
about the fight game, one kick, one punch, one elbow, one knee could just shut the lights off.
That's true.
Right? So we'll see what happens. If there's some dogs, like you're saying they're dogs,
We're going to find out what's happening.
right? So
I think-
the other one you were talking about was the chicks.
Yeah, so that's the women's strawweight title. And that's going to be...
Strawweight?
Yeah, strawweight.
What is that? 80 pounds?
Strawweight, I think, is 125.
I'm
Or
dead.
one...
Yeah, they keep coming up with new names for these goddamn weight classes.
It's always been that, though.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
for, like, women's, too,
For
because...
lightweight, welterweight, or welterweight, featherweight,
Strawweight.
strawweight.
Oh, 115, I think, is strawweight.
I'm dead. Kids.
You think for kids in UFC, that'd be hard. No, I'm just playing. So that fight is going to be really important because it's the first time they've had pretty much China representing a title fight. And the fact that they're
Just China versus China.
Just
And
China
the-
versus China.
And it, like, these two are just pretty badass, or what?
Yeah, they're pretty badass. But Zhang Weili, like, I'll put the fucking house on her any fight. Like,
So you're in favor of her winning?
100%.
And she has the belt already, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm looking at? Yeah. Okay.
But she's the number one contender,
So she's defending,
Yan Shannon.
and then, so she's up for basically to win the belt. So she's
Right.
going to go up against
So
number
now
one.
she's fighting the champion to see if she can win the belt.
Right.
So this
Okay.
potentially could be an upset, but she's a bad mother effort too. So
you want Weili.
me personally, I love to watch her fight. She's just
We didn't really say real
Energetic
quick.
and dope.
Let's rewind or back it up a minute. Who do you want to win the BMF belt? I'm gonna go Holloway.
I want Holloway. Yeah, I want Holloway. I want Holloway. I love Holloway, dude. He's just dope. He's just dope.
Right.
So to see him kind of jumping up in weight, I mean, this fight's gonna be really tough for him because he's jumping up in weight division. So I'm really curious to see him in the lightweight.
Is that tough jumping up in weight? Because
It just depends on how you handle your
doesn't
day to
that
day and how
mean
much
he
you
gets
cut.
to keep a lot of his muscle? You know what I mean?
A lot of his muscle,
Instead
a lot of his weight is natural weight rather than cutting a lot. And then, so we'll see how he is because you got to remember, Justin Gaethje probably walks around another 20, 30 pounds heavier than what Holloway walks around naturally at.
Right.
But since he's taken a break a little bit and he's put on that weight and he feels good, it's going to be really interesting to see how Holloway even comes for this fight and how active he is early on. Is that energy really going to affect him? Because that's another thing you have to take into consideration is the weight difference and how you move.
He
big
could
thing.
be slower.
He could be slower,
Okay.
so just
I've
depending
seen
on
you talk about how sometimes when you're dropping weight, you just feel like super light.
Yeah, I feel like
you could do anything.
I feel like I'm fucking like Michael Jordan fucking yeah. Oh my bad.
Oh no, you're good. We're trying to cuss a little bit less.
I know.
That way we can grow the pod and do all these, marketing and stuff. But Now I got Zay all paranoid about cussing.
A little bit. All right, so moving forward,
Well, here, yeah.
Whaley,
Okay.
Holloway, Hill.
And that's for like the big 3 fights.
Yeah.
That you're excited for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we also do have Charles Oliveira, Bo Nickel. They're going to be fighting. I think those are going to be really interesting fights. I think, obviously, Oliveira's going to take that. And I think Bo Nickel's going to take that last fight. Those are just going to be interesting fights.
I'm pretty in line with you with the 3 favorites that we got. As far as the other dudes, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I know.
So
Charles
we'll
Oliveira,
see how it goes.
let's just put it that.
Oh, wait.
that means
This
a dub.
dude, actually, I've seen this dude fight and he's insane. Wait, is this the guy with the crooked ears that I was talking about?
Huh? Me definitely got some ears on him. Like
Cauliflower. Dang.
Fight you.
Yo, so I had a good question for you that kind of brewed up while we were talking about this.
Ooh.
When you get to that level of fighting, and I realize you're not in the UFC right now,
Right.
so just give your best answer maybe, but when you're on that level, where do you find the motivation to really fight like a dog? You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I feel that.
you're
Yeah.
making all your money already. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the hard work you put in to get there, you're there.
Well, money's
You know what I'm
not like money's cool. Like money helps, but money's not the reason why you're there.
You know what I mean, though? Or
No, I totally get what you mean.
like, they're going home to their nice house. They're going home to massages whenever they want. They got, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got it set for them. Like, usually what makes a warrior, just from my opinion or my stereotypical views, usually what makes a warrior is the constant being put at the edge, like your life in the line. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like instinctual stuff brings out the dog.
Well, that's all like
You know
a
what I mean?
mental. That's all a mental thing. So for me, I don't think like money's the motivation for them. Like legacy is their motivation. They want to leave behind this because they enjoy doing this to the max effort.
So the same motivation that got them there, you're saying that they're continuing that motivation because
Correct.
they're trying to be
Great.
the number one,
Yeah, they're trying to be great.
or to leave a legacy.
To leave a
like you
legacy.
said. Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
Like me personally, like I fight because I want to leave a stamp on this world of what I did.
this is why this was a great question because I didn't think I was gonna get such a good like answer out of you, but no, keep going.
No, but yeah, that's me personally. Like, I don't fight just to win belts or no. Like for me, fighting is being able to see what I'm capable of and not capable of, and then improving what I'm not capable of, and improving what I'm already good at to be even better. I love always improving. So the fact that I can see visual representation like live of what I'm improving on, it's just motivation for me to go.
That's
I want
like,
to see how great I can make it.
Would you say that the fight game has like improved you?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I could see it. Like, it's physically improved you. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
Physically improved you. I mean, going through the loss, going through the win.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
wins or losses, though. I feel like it's like just living life, going through the trials and tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
Or does trials and tribulations include the wins too?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's just all of
because
it.
that's all. Yeah, that's
It's
all.
just going through everything. It seems like you kind of get like a dopamine or like a good feeling out of even having experienced it.
Yeah, even
You
attempting.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you're past whatever reasons you have. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I get what you mean. So for me, like, it's like, I first started off because I was just like, oh, well, I think fighting is cool because like people that I look up to are fighters and that's cool. I don't want to do what they do. But now I found my own reason as to pretty much feel like I can leave behind something. And I feel like I have the ability to do that. And so now I want to see how far can I take my ability if I really apply myself.
So you enjoy challenging yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time you ran all the way to fucking Gilbert and Elliott and back, and you were like, yo, I just ran 8 miles without stopping, and I feel good.
I did though. That was the first time I did it. So it's just like
When you told me that, I was like, I was thinking in my mind, I was
remember
like, yo, if I took off
stressed.
running down the street, by the time I get to the
the
end of
mailbox.
my gated community,
Yeah.
give me some credit. Give me a little bit of credit. You know what's up?
Wait, are you talking about full blast running?
No, just like
Oh yeah, just
like to
Oh, no,
get
you got it.
running to get somewhere, not like full release all your energy at once. No, if I literally ran outside and I was like, you know what I'm saying? I think by the time I get to the end of the gated community, I'm gonna be like, why am I out here right now?
I'm dead.
Like, what is this?
For like, running is a very interesting thing.
Do you like running?
No,
Like,
I fucking
genuinely?
hate running.
Okay.
I
Why are you
genuinely-
always so happy though when you do it?
Because I did something I hate doing.
Okay, so it was the discipline behind it, or what was it that you accomplished something that you didn't want to do? Or
Right.
what
It's
is-
just in my head. You can get into certain things to being like, I really don't want to do this right now, or should I just chill and should I eat? Should I do this? Should I do that? Or do I just get up and do what I have to do to be great? So right now I have to look at it as if every time I feel like I want to chill, I have to look at it as like, oh, like my opponent's probably not chilling right now. But at the end of the day, I'm not seeing a person, I'm seeing me. Like I'm always my opponent, no matter what. So for me to drive even further in my training, in my weightlifting, in my cardio, in my eating, in my discipline with anything, it's just like, I'm always at a battle with myself. So there's always like a voice in my head to where being like, yo, you gotta chill. And there's another voice in my head to being like, no, shut up.
So there was two things I wanted to ask you while you were talking. The first one, so I don't forget it, is do you get a more of a good feeling when you run when you don't want to? Or do you get the same good feeling even when you do want to run?
To
You know
be
what I'm
honest,
saying? Like, do you feel that accomplishment from like, oh, I didn't want to do it, but I did. You know what I mean?
I think I would have to say it's the same because at the end of the day, I'm still getting it done.
And so it's not like an extra joy because you didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
It's,
I feel like
at the end, you still do it, like regardless.
I feel like putting more discipline behind the I don't want to, it does feel a little bit more like satisfactory that I did get it done because I pretty much coached myself through my negative thoughts of trying to stop me from doing something that's going to better me. So I feel like with that being said, having the discipline to always better yourself in times where you really don't want to, I feel like I can apply that to everything else. So just doing those in like a physical like standpoint, now I can start doing them in verbal standpoints and mental standpoints and emotional standpoints. Now I can start really grow as a human being. So these things are all my trials and tribulations as a human being, and what can I do as my time on here.
Nice. Okay, and then the other question I wanted to ask, you mentioned about how you're fighting yourself, right? Is that so? Whenever you think about your opponent and it's yourself, right? Is that mirror of yourself that you're fighting? Is that always the best version of you? So like, if you have some epiphany and it like really forms you, and you're like, "Whoa, I got this shit." Does that mirror image enemy have that too?
Always.
So okay, so
He's
you're
always ahead of
always
me.
in line with yourself. So that's why you always gotta one up.
Have
One
to.
up.
Because
One up.
he's always trying to one up me. Because that's what I'm trying to do with him. But he's doing it better
So wait,
because he's
so-
fully disciplined.
So how do you beat yourself?
Consistency.
But can you beat yourself?
Only time will tell.
No, like legit. Like if you literally had a mirror image of yourself, who would win? Well, I guess me.
Me.
Would be
Yeah, I was like, how can I say that? I was like,
I'm fucking dead.
I was like,
So the actual you here,
right.
or the image of you, who would win? Like real talk.
Right now in this very moment, me. Yeah.
So there would be moments that your mirror will win.
Yeah, that's just like life. I feel like
And is that if your present person is letting stuff get
certain
to
things
you,
slide.
or-
Yeah,
know what I mean?
like life get to me.
So that version of you is the perfect, not distracted, fully disciplined
fully
version
focused.
of you.
I'm an arrow.
That's the BMF.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
Dang, imagine going against a BMF and you're not there.
You're gonna have a rough time. You're gonna have a rough time, and you're gonna think to yourself, "Is this even for me?"
So have you ever stepped in the ring knowing you aren't gonna beat yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like just mentally, like physically, you're always there. Cool, right? But I'm saying, you get what I'm saying or no?
There's been 2 fights in general where I kind of walked in there and I was just like, I'm just not in the zone. I'm not there, but I'm just gonna go. Because for me, once I start doing the action, then I pick up. Then it's like, all right, well, let's go. We're doing it. Let's go. Like, you know.
And wait, are those the fights that didn't turn out good?
No.
Or you're just giving me an example of going into a fight with some doubt, maybe, and then actually finding the confidence as you were fighting.
Well, it's not that
Is
I
that what
have
you're
like doubt in beating the person. It's that I have doubt in. I wouldn't even say myself. It's just the
Well,
doubt.
it would be yourself.
I mean,
Because you're
technically-
always fighting against yourself, like you said, remember?
Well, it's just locking in a certain mindset. If I don't lock in that certain mindset, then my fight game is off. I'm off rhythm. Think about it that way. So imagine you trying to rap, but you're just like off rhythm of the beat.
I know what you
and it's
mean.
just like,
Yeah, I know
you
what
just
you mean.
can't, things aren't connecting. It's just, this is that, and there's nothing to communicate in between. So my mind,
I do
my
know
body,
what you mean, because there's
my God.
plenty of times I'll go to record because it's like, okay, she's at work, kids are good, babysitting, nobody's here at the house. All right, this is my time to record.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I got 3 hours, 2 hours. If I don't get that recording done in that time, then it's not going to get done.
It's not going to happen, yeah.
No, but what I mean to say about that is I've gone in there to record maybe a sad, emotional song, and I'm not sad or emotional. So it's like that disconnect that you were saying.
There's
just
no communication between mind and body.
And I kind of had a cool epiphany because as time has gone by with my music,
Yeah.
I've gotten really good at being able to just find
Flip that
that
switch.
frequency where I need to be and just work.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's called flicking that switch.
So have you locked that down? What is your switch?
So my switch is pretty much understanding what a fight is to me. So when I lose that kind of like aspect, that perspective, then I'm off beat, I'm off rhythm. Like to me, a fight is a particular way of moving and understanding your opponent. And if I lose beat and rhythm of that, then my fight game's off. So I need to learn how to always stay disciplined in that way of thinking, and then apply that while I'm training or working out or running or eating. Like I'm doing this to be better in this. This is the reason why I'm doing this. I hate this, but I love this. So this, therefore I love this, even though I hate it.
So I guess the question I really wanted you to answer was, you've been fighting for a while.
Yeah.
Right? Has it become easier to just flip that switch or tune to that frequency? You know what I'm saying? Or is that the constant battle of being a fighter?
I feel like that's,
You know what I mean?
it has gotten easier, but that's always the constant battle. I feel like that was a really good question.
I was just
yeah.
relating it to me because being able to record or put out a certain performance all comes down to experience.
Right.
And that's what I've noticed with me
Right.
because I could do it now. Like whatever. That's not even a thing an issue. You know, before it would be an issue like, don't piss me off today. Nobody pissed me off today, or
I need to be on this
like,
specific vibe.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
But now it doesn't matter.
You're just gonna be able to.
That's
do
what I
it
mean
when
for
the
you.
spotlight's
Like,
on.
like is it just an experience thing to where you could just lock in, or is that like the constant battle, like I was saying, of being a fighter? Like it's like I might be there, I might not be there.
There's a little gray area in there when it comes to the fighting.
This is cool though because I feel like
Yeah.
this conversation, that question, is the rap game. I mean, not the rap game, the fighting game. Like you
Yeah.
even having to think about it is like
Oh, shit.
we're in it.
Yeah, like
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like-
So for me, I would have to say there's a little gray area in between with the fight game because I lock in the last like 2 weeks before a fight, and then the last week before the fight. So the week of the fight, I'm like super in tuned and I'm locked in. Depending on how well I lock in and stay on that like zone, I'm gonna do better in the fight. So with experience, I've learned to pretty much not overly do because you can overly do your focus and then lose focus when the time is ready. It's a weird like offbeat thing, and now with the experience that I've had and the people that I fought, especially, I got a shout to the last fighter I fought. I mean, he taught me a lot during that fight, and moving forward, I can really see the discipline I need to instill to make me hit the next level.
Yo, I love that you brought that up about your last fight, because that opened up a whole new set of questions. Not even about the fight,
Right,
but
right.
like just, you know what I'm saying? But so it's just cool. I feel like there's a spark in this conversation right now, because we are talking about just the constant, not battle, but like the constant things that fighters have to deal with. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Like this, and it's a determining factor in the fight.
Yeah,
though. Like
yeah.
if, let's just say your opponent goes into that fight, finds out a family member got hurt or
Right.
killed, right? I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna, is there wood somewhere? Yeah. No juju on nobody. But like, that would really make somebody like,
It would just throw them off their game. It would throw them off rhythm.
but now that I'm thinking about it, they could actually get fuel from that.
They could, just depending on who you are as a person.
See, this is why there's a spark in this conversation, because it's a determining factor.
Yeah, yeah.
But it could sway somebody or it can strengthen somebody.
Like, let's just say, like, that
You know what I
fighter just got evicted and his girlfriend broke up with him. Is now, with those two things affecting his entire life, is that going to be a slingshot to push him forward? Or is that going to be something to where he allows and being like, dang, like, doubt's in here, negative thoughts are in here. I can't do this now because this and this and this is happening and messing up my life.
This is cool. This is really cool, because the fight game is very absolute. And what I
Yeah,
mean by
I get what
that
you mean,
is
yeah.
somebody's going to win or lose. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The music stuff is like, I'm in my lane doing my music. There's not really a win or a lose situation. You know what I mean? But no, the fighting stuff is like a win or a lose. So it's like who knows their mind
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think, would that be a
100%.
fair, like, something to say?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
That's pretty cool.
I think it is pretty cool. That's the reason why, like, for me, like, that's why I was like 95% of that is a mental battle.
But this is also saying that both fighters had the same amount of physical discipline.
That's true. But you
Right.
can also have less physical discipline and still be a better fighter.
Because you know how your brain
Because you
works.
know how you just like the language of fighting. There's a language of fighting. And if you can understand that language better than your opponent, you're going to win. Because then you understand your opponent, how they move and how they operate.
Is that why you said the fighting is like 90% mental? Yeah.
Because you have to understand. You have to learn. It's not just like, I'm going to go in there and throw some hands. Like, no, it's like I have to understand the severity in the moment that I put myself in.
Right.
And if I don't, I'm going to get hurt.
So it's safe to say you enjoy the fight game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just cool. Like me sparring.
It's cool to talk about it.
Fighting, enjoying the people that like watch me fight. I've had so many people like just validate me on so many different ways. The support that I get, I mean, it's just insane. Like sometimes I don't believe it. I'm just like, wow, like
I like watching the reason why I like watching you fight is, well, like, bros aside, set that aside for a second. The reason why I like watching you fight is because I get to see you on a daily basis. And I don't know everything you do, but I get to see kind of the surface level of what you're training on. Oh yeah, I'm going to the gym, I'll see you later. Or, you know what I mean? You got the weights on you and like, I'm going for a run. Or I get to see your mood and how you're going to do the exercise that day. You know what I mean?
right.
I just get all this context. And then, okay, now
You
it's
get the
fight
backstory.
night.
Yeah. So now you get to see it all wrapped up at the
Yeah,
present.
and I'm invested now.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you, you know, how you're acting, how your moods are, like, you know, everything.
Putting
like,
in. Yeah.
And it's just, okay, well, it's fight night.
Like how's it gonna go?
So that's
Yeah.
why I'm so excited all the time, because I get to see kind of the story.
The result. Yeah.
You
I
know
feel
what I
that. I feel that.
So
The beginning, the middle, and the end.
It's like a book
yeah.
or a movie or whatever, right? I get everything. I wish we could give that to people. That's why That's why in the UFC and boxing and all that, they put like
Documentaries. And
yeah,
stuff.
like the whole. Just for example, whatever, right? Like oh Adesanya, yeah, and he wins, blah blah blah, or they have him fighting in the gym, or just to give a little bit
promo.
of context to get people invested.
It's got to sell the story. You know what I mean?
We'll get to that point.
We'll get to that point.
No budget, we're putting out some fire videos. You know what I'm saying?
Those are 10 out of 10.
Imagine if we had like just a little bit of budget. You know what I'm saying?
We'll say 9 out of 10 because there's always room for improvement. But for me, being able to go back and watch the videos of my fight, like the promotions put on the fights, the videos and stuff like that, which is cool, right?
They don't put them out like Bliss puts them out.
But they are still underrated, man. I'm weak. But it's really cool to like watch your because like I get to see with the videos. I really enjoy you doing them because I get to see your perspective on how you see me in the fight. The build up, the wrapping the hands, the getting in my zone, the walkout, the fight, the result.
I'm glad you can see it that way because I mean I just film it and then I try to just put whatever I think is the best looking stuff. Yeah. So it is my perspective, right?
It's your perspective.
Everything 100%. I think is so dope about your fight. Like literally
just wrapped up
goes,
in this,
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I literally watch my fights like
a new music video. Just
like in a way, like it's just it's funny because like there's times where like I've realized that I'm more excited to watch the fight video after the fight than the actual fight. So there's times where like I'm like I can't wait to watch this video. Like this is gonna be so dope. Like
you know what's funny and like maybe kind of like it's not good for me, but it's just kind of funny to talk about. I'm not motivated to do videos for anybody else. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
I do them because I want to see the video of Jose after the fight. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, yeah.
Or like artists, don't take this the wrong way. I genuinely don't like making other people's music unless I'm into it or it's like a feature for me.
Yeah.
But
like I feel that a connection to it,
and that just goes with me as a person because we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
I like if I don't see the value in what I'm doing, I won't do it.
So you need to have passion for you to move forward with your ambition.
Right, and maybe that comes down to me being busy a lot.
Right.
So then it's like, it's kind of adapted me to not put my energy everywhere.
Right.
Maybe it has something to do with that, you know, because it's like after sleeping and work and kids, how much time do I have for pod, music? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that just stems from that. But I just, it's funny and it's kind of a bad thing, but I only like doing shit that I want to do. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm sorry for you. I mean, let's just say, so take that back. If I were to only do shit that I didn't want to do, I wouldn't be fighting. So now that
you'd still be fighting.
No.
No?
No. Because then I'd be getting my ass whooped because there's times where like I don't want to go to the gym.
Oh, because... Wait, but... Okay, let's break that down real quick. How does... Okay, so that is a good thing that we do what we want to do, right?
Right.
But where does discipline come in?
By pushing it to the further level of what we think, like, oh, this is like, this satisfies me enough. Well,
okay, so...
this is what makes my passion even better. I have the drive to make it better.
So this is what we're doing, and now I'm going to do it whether I want to or not. Is it okay? That makes sense.
Right.
I just had to break it down real quick because it's like...
We did kind of
if somebody hits me up for a video, they're hey, could you do my fight? Like I seen how you do Zay's fights, and yo, we'll pay you whatever. Like on a real low key level, like I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But see, so am I hurting myself? You see what I'm saying? Because now
that's
I'm missing out on a little bag. You know what I mean?
But that all depends. Like, is that bag worth the experience that you're gonna be whenever you're there enjoying the event rather than actually working technically there? Like, is that what you're trying to build?
You know what?
Do that?
I got it. If I'm not interested in doing it, or if my real motivations aren't there, it won't become a good video. To be honest.
I feel that.
So
I feel that.
it just connected the dots.
Yeah.
it would be a disservice to accept the bag just for the bag. I would be doing that fighter a disservice.
I get what you
You know
mean.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. I mean, for like the whole fighting thing, for me, the reason why I do it is because I have so much passion behind it. And I'm able to always improve moving forward. So let's just say the reason why I love watching my fights is because only I know what I mess up on. I'm pretty sure my coach do, but only I know what I can improve on. Only I know what I'm experiencing in that fight.
Well, that's true because I know you or your game plan more than anyone else does, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know your game plan,
Right.
but I got a better idea of it. And even me, when I look at your fights, I like, okay, well, they'll know that's all good. Like you did everything you wanted to do,
Right.
but you,
I could have been sharper. I could have been faster. I could
right
have been more
there, I
aggressive.
should have ducked an uppercut.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so I
Exactly.
get what you mean. Like,
There's always like little tidbits that I just want to improve, and that's what's really cool about getting to a point to where I really feel like I can reach because
have you
of
had
discipline.
a fight? So I've seen all your fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have you had a fight where you legit watched it, and it was just like you had no criticism for yourself?
Yes, there's only one.
Do we want to disclose that or not?
Yeah, if you want. Do you want to?
Not really.
Okay, cool.
Not. I
Off
just
record,
wanted to
then.
know. Yeah, off
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
But I just wanted to know because you know how we always judge ourselves.
Yeah.
Like I could watch any of my music videos and still have some. Man, you know what? I could have went over here, or I could have said a different line. Or,
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? So. Yeah, I haven't really had a video like that yet, to where I'm like.
Everything was crisp. Yeah.
But that's just me. That's why I was curious to ask you if there's been a video or a fight that is just like.
You know what's really cool about that video though that I'm thinking about? Everything leading up to the moment was just, you could really feel the impact, the tone, the energy behind it all.
Is it a video that we like to watch a lot? Okay. Like, is it one that you usually like, oh, let's watch that one?
It's just, I mean, there's a couple things where I could have done a little bit more sharp, but everything that I had in my head, I did. And then it went exactly how I wanted to go. So it was just cool to watch that and to see that I have the potential to accomplish the things in my head. Rather than just being like, oh, that'd be cool if I could do that. Or that'd be cool if I could do that. Because I can fight anybody at the end of the day. But how efficiently am I going to fight that person? And that all depends on me. And how disciplined and focused I stay in the middle of that moment. You know?
I'm glad we talked about this today or on this episode because people that are going to go to the fight,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that coincidentally watch our content as well. Now they're getting some context.
Behind it. Yeah.
For now they're going to scream that much louder when you go up to the ring. You know what I mean? Because now they have some reason to like, they're invested.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that the fight, and we've been doing it.
Yeah, right.
But this one was way more on purpose. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But fight week, digging into some fight stuff, I think was cool, and I think people that are watching are gonna
Get
be
a
more
little tidbit
excited.
of what's going on, yeah.
Shit, like I could think of, let's say I was watching it, be like, it just bought my ticket. Like, it's gonna be
excited.
cool.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I just think it's cool. I think it's cool to give people something to invest in. You know what I mean? That way, when they go to the climax of this journey,
They can see it all.
their
in fruition.
heart's going a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But can't hold the camera right.
That was really cool to see the support behind my last fight. I think I sold 37 tickets. 37 ringside tickets.
No, that's why they love you. I'm dead.
You know what I'm saying? The numbers and the results, baby, don't play with me. But it was just so cool to see everybody that pretty much said that they were gonna go.
The cool thing about what you're saying is, I didn't really even have that in my mind. oh, you like, oh, how loud is the crowd gonna be when Jose comes up? Like it wasn't
Yeah,
even.
it was crazy.
You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
just, oh yeah, I'm here. Like we're here for
Yeah.
Jose. We're gonna see him. Cool. Like we always do. No big deal. And it was significant enough to me even think about it. And I was like, yo, they want to see Jose.
Yeah.
Like
It
no,
was
for real
great.
though. Like I wasn't even in my thought process. Like how loud is the crowd gonna be?
Right.
Like, yeah, I was legit not.
That's
even,
never. That's. I don't ever expect anybody to cheer for me anyway. So when I do get that, it's like, oh wow, like.
But yeah, like I would say people. I mean, at the least, people were genuinely excited to see you fight. You know what I
It
mean?
was really cool to see. Like,
And then at the
it was
most,
really cool.
you brought the crowd and they wanted to see you, and you are him.
That was pretty cool. Like, and it was just like, because I had a bunch of other supporters there, not specifically just to watch me their fight, but it was so cool to watch everybody's engagement.
It's because
and
people
energy.
know you that go to these fights all the time. So even if they're just there to see their fighter, they're like, oh, it's Zay. You know what I mean? I know him. I've seen him before. Let's get it. Like, you know what I mean?
Me personally, I hope that I'm able to bring a good enough fight for them to just really feel like they enjoyed their night. That's always another goal for me.
I keep trying to tell you this, and I get that you will never understand, but your story is the reason why I go to any of your fights and enjoy them. So I know that you want to have, like, you want to give people the headlining ticket. I'm the headliner. This is why you came to see me, because I'm exciting and I can knock some motherfucker out.
Well, not even
That's-
headlining, but like, I mean, that would be cool, but it's just, I hope to give a good show while I'm there. Even if
you lose, I
even-
promise.
yeah, like-
I promise, you're not disappointing anybody. No, for real. It's the like. I don't know why I bring this fool up all the time. It's like the Tory Lanez of the fighting industry.
Yeah.
You could hate on him as much as you want.
But he's a hard worker.
You know his name, and he consistently puts out music.
He be grinding.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or no?
yeah.
So like,
I totally get what you mean.
I'm not saying to be Tory Lanez. Like, in my opinion, you're better than a lot of these fighters already. So you have that going for you. But it's just being there and people knowing your name, I think is
For me, that's
like, whether you want to believe it or not, at the fights next week, Todd is going to be like excited to see you there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just because you're Jose, you are who you are. It doesn't matter if you've won or lost, whatever. Like, he has invested into you. Like, his time.
Right,
Maybe,
right.
You know what I mean? Not
Energy,
necessarily
Money, like
on
something
a
like that,
super
right.
personal level or
Right.
whatever, right? But he just knows you. Like, he's read this book.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He
And
has the backstory.
now he's at the part of the book or the movie where shit's getting interesting.
I mean, he's literally saw me when I first started fighting 9 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. He was the guy putting together my fights and stuff.
I didn't know that.
And
I
then
thought it
that's-
was just rage.
No. Like,
No.
so even back then, I knew Todd. And then I had that 7-year gap of not doing nothing. And I let life beat me up. Whatever is what it is. I realized the mistake I did. And now I'm able to have perspective. So with that being said, him still being in the game, still doing what he's doing, and still showing that love, like, it means the most to me. Like, anybody that's willing to show support and anybody that's willing to, like, just show me a little bit of love, like, for me, that's like, that just goes through the roof. Like, because nobody has to do that. Like,
Well, you're a good person. Some people could tell.
I'm just me. I don't know. Like,
The point I was trying to make was that what do people care about more? Somebody that just continuously wins, and he's just winning, and he just picks up a fight every here and there? Or somebody that's doing a fight maybe even once a month, winning, losing, everything in between? What do people care about more? You know what I'm saying? Like,
in your face.
I guess
It's
that's
in
an
your face.
I guess that's an opinion.
No, but I get
But
that.
what I'm trying to say is, I don't really care about that guy.
It's like
that's
relevancy in a way.
always the best and he's the man.
Right.
Cool, good for you. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I care more about, like, the fighters. I just
Underrated.
yeah.
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 If I see like some of the fighters that fight out of AZ Dragons,
Yeah.
like I get genuinely excited to see them fight because
They're such good people.
like I just know from what you like Jesse.
Yeah. Love Jesse.
He's gonna
Love
fight
Jesse. Yeah.
next week, right?
Jesse's gonna be fighting.
I'm now excited to see Jesse fight because he's back again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he is gonna knock this guy out or if he gets knocked out. To be honest, I just care. I'm just gonna be excited to watch the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the whole just point that I was trying to make to you right now. That
Shout out to Jesse Montalvo, my boy.
Jesse.
No, but I feel like though, it's really exciting to.
But I don't know if you'll ever fully understand that from my perspective. That's just my perspective. But I think it's an important perspective because I'm seeing you not as just a friend, but I'm able to see it from the outside in too.
Right.
And I'm telling you that it just being there is important. Win or lose.
I feel like I have a really good perspective only because you have the same outlet. I get to
What do you mean?
experience that with you as well. Like you're not gonna understand whenever you go on stage or whenever you're performing for a music
Oh, I get what you
video
mean. Okay,
or-
so like just going to one of my shows is just
Dude,
super cool.
To me,
Like,
that is like, I remember like when you made your first like song right there, like, you know what I mean? Like, and to now to see like where it's at now to like, dude, like that's motivation through the roof. Like that's so cool to like genuinely see you do what you love to do for so long, and then progress in it.
see and have seen that from my very little beginnings, like a retard over there. Having seen that, doesn't that make you just excited for
anything?
my next album?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You got
That's,
this song up?
that's
Bet.
what I'm trying to tell you. Like you could release a crappy song, then a good song, then a crappy song, but when it comes down to when I release a video or when it comes down to when I release an album, it's like, all right, well, we got to check it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's like, to go back to it again, that's all I was trying to really pinpoint. That it's the fact that you're still doing it. That's
I get
important.
you. It's just consistency.
Right, and I just want you when you get there and when you get up on the ring, I just want you to remember that I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's just gratitude.
it's like when I let me breathe for a second. I get really like
Amped up.
invested
Yeah.
into it, right? So when I like make music and now I had like this cool, I don't know if you see my story today, but I had like this cool little like moment today. And like I really have been making music for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I still want to. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's getting old.
I gotta make music.
No,
man.
like I genuinely want to make music. Like I don't care where it takes me. Like
That's your
it's
real
just
passion.
cool
Yeah.
for me to make music. I just
Yeah.
like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Whether
I'm
you do
still
something
here.
And I feel like for me to watch you always have that mindset with that has always made me just appreciate the fact that you do have something like that in your life. That you're able to always be better in, you're always able to strive for, you're always able to improve, you're always able to kind of just look forward to. I feel like that's very important for like just growth in general, and the fact that you're able to have visual growth in front of your eyes over a
What do
long.
you looked over there like the beginnings of it. You're funny. Is that what you mean, or were you meaning like the TV?
No, I was just like pointing off
man,
camera.
I
Like
thought you meant like the visual growth from my little tiny laptop.
well,
on
there,
the stupid
yeah,
subwoofer.
there was that though. There was, but like literally, like now. I remember back then, like making music for you, like you're like, hey, is this cool? Like your view on making music was very. Opinions were very valued.
I just didn't know what I was doing,
Right.
so the validation that I got from people was important.
Right. No, and I feel like in the
It's
beginning,
like,
like,
am
you
I
need that.
going in the right direction?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where I'm at now is I am doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
regardless of if people like
If
it.
you like it or not, exactly. That's for me to see you as like you're, you know what I mean? Like you are who you are to me, and
That's a pretty cool transition.
it's
huh?
really cool.
I
dude.
went from not knowing what I was doing, but kind of just following my gut, to now knowing kind of what I'm doing.
Dude, that's so cool.
You know what I mean? Like
that's, you know what I mean?
that's pretty cool.
That's a BMF. You know what I mean?
Is it?
That's a BMF. Like real talk. Like not a lot of people can do that. Like they don't have that. They don't have that mindset or that determination, that it factor to always have that consistency. Because there's
I don't know why I've been so consistent though. To be honest, like I can't really give you an answer.
because
Like,
that's your
I
true
think
calling. That's your outlet.
You can give me a better answer than I can come with for myself. Because to me, it's like I feel like I'm just kind of doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else better to say that. But you seeing it from the outside perspective, maybe you were able to give me a better answer. I don't know.
I feel like me personally, going back to the passion, that's something you've always truly been passionate about, and something who you are as an individual. You've always been one to express your insights. So now with you having both of those together, I feel like that is the perfect way to fully release your inner voice. So sometimes you don't always get to talk about what you really want to talk about or express what you really want to express in certain conversations. But with music, you're able to fully dive in the depths of your mind and unleash what's kind of like locked in there in a way. It's just you, and whatever you create is completely you. And I think to watch your creations, music's album, even just Instagram posts. I mean, you put a lot of thought into a lot of things that you do. I mean, it
I
baffles
try
me
not
sometimes.
to put out some bullshit.
I mean, but you have so much passion for what you do that you're willing to go that extra mile every single time. And I think a lot of people lose that aspect of their passion. Like you have to put in that grind. If you really love what you do, it's not really a grind. It's just like, no, I could just
You
tweak
know
it a
what's
little
funny?
better.
What I just had an epiphany about what you just said about the grind thing, and it's not the grind.
It's not the
you can't just flip on the switch and it's grind time.
Yeah, no.
Nah, bro.
It's a love for that.
I have a single coming out next week. Friday night, I'm going to work. This is not like it's not grind time. Let's get it. This is hype. Let's do it. Nah, bro. You gotta fight next week. It's not grind time. It's time to fucking work.
To work. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just
it's
wanted
time to showcase.
I just had a weird epiphany about because grind seems like
kind of like
let's get that grind going.
Yeah.
No, this is
the spotlight. This is
you're
it.
in it.
Yeah.
And if you don't take it serious, it's not gonna pan out the way you want it to.
Feel that.
So I think grind is like a little bit of a hype word. You know what I mean?
We'll
But
take grind out and we'll put.
I just feel like grind is motivational when it really comes down to it, when you're not feeling it.
Or do you feel like grind is just overly used?
No, wait, hold on. I think grind is motivational. It's like, oh yeah, it's time to grind. But in reality, work isn't fun.
Yeah.
Right? You're not just gonna do the work when you feel like grinding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the discipline. It's work time. It's time to clock in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At the end of the day, once I clock in, I'm working.
Like you want to be there though. It's not like this is.
But see, that's what separates passion from just doing what you feel like you need to do because you're finding success in that. A lot of people, I think, find a lot of success in the little things they do, so they don't have the passion to push them a long period of time, even if they don't have the success in that. The passion is the success for you because you still have that passion for this one thing. So you having that outlet to fully express on, I feel like has always been the thing to really make you feel like, no, this is me and this is how you're going to hear what I have to say.
And then relating it to like the podcast right now, like I wouldn't even say this is the grind because we're in the middle of a grind. If you want to talk about a grind, this comes out at the same time every week in 4K on YouTube. Podcast is going every Monday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about a grind, we're in the grind constantly.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know. I just had this weird thing in my mind about when you said grind, I was like, wait, we're not really grinding. We're working.
Working. That's always work.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like grinding was.
So whenever
not
you're
like something else, like hype.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
this ain't hype, mate.
So for everybody else at home, how do you feel whenever you're at home comfortable? Is there ever like a time to where your brain is completely empty? Let's
What do
ask
you
that.
mean comfortable? Like when I'm
Like-
playing games or something? What do you mean comfortable?
I mean comfortable. Let's just say like, is there ever a time where you just want to come home and you just kind of want to lay down and forget the world?
Yeah, when I don't get enough sleep. So it's like when my brain cannot function.
At the efficiency that you know it to? That's when you feel like
You know what's cool?
Hmm.
When my brain is able to function, I'm usually doing something.
Yeah. That's why I was
You know what I
asking.
mean?
Yeah.
Or no? Like,
There's something going on.
but I
so-
noticed that if I am ever sleeping or not doing work, it's because literally
Not
I didn't
enough
get
sleep.
enough sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's a big thing for
And
you.
it's necessary.
Yeah.
If I can't function, then I'm not gonna put out product. I can't think. You know what I mean? Like if I
I
can't
literally
think,
didn't know what you meant by that for so long because remember I was only getting like, it was like 3-4 hours of sleep every single day.
I wish I had that. I don't know how you do that.
No, you don't.
For real, no, yeah. If I could get 3 hours of sleep a night, you know how much shit I would get done?
I feel like for me at the time, like I sacrificed mental space for a longer time of being awake. And I got used to sacrificing that mental space. So now that I'm fully able to see my full sleep schedule and have my mental space here grow much more because I'm having that sleep.
So you get more sleep now?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
I'm glad I was able to give you that
You
perspective.
did. You did. Like back then I was just like, how do you sleep more than 6 hours a night? Like how do you do that?
And do you just do that now? That way you're more effective?
Yeah, so
While
like
is that what you're saying?
I beat my body to like kingdom come. Like, you know what I mean? So I need that now. So now I understand like where you're coming from because you put your brain through so much, I don't want to say stress because it's not stress, but it's just activation that it needs that recovery time.
Like load?
Load,
I think
there we
load's
go.
a good word
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Load. So you put your brain under
So much of a load.
so much of a load that now it needs to carry that. So it can only carry that for so long until it needs to be like, okay, hey, I need to take a break. Like I need my breath. So that's like your sleep. You know how you act whenever you're at 80% functioning, 90% functioning. And if you're below that, you know you need more sleep. So for me back then, I knew that I could be here, but I was always here because my sleep was here. Compared to if my sleep was here, I'd be there.
I legit will not turn on my computer. Was that you?
Yeah.
I'm dead. I legit will not even turn my computer on if I know that my brain is tired.
You feel like a
legit.
smog, like a
That
fog?
it affects me a lot.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if I'm tired, it literally like
It's really hard to be creative when
I
you're
can't
exhausted.
function right.
Yeah.
I could put myself on airplane mode and take care of the kids, whatever
Mm-hmm.
I got to do. But when it comes down to editing some video and putting my style and making the video nice,
Yeah.
I can't, dude. Like,
That
well,
nice little touch. Like,
it's also like the being motivated to do it. If I'm tired, I'm not even motivated to do it. So then
it's like a struggle. It's like a chore rather than like, oh, I'm doing this because
my
it's
best
dope.
product isn't gonna come out.
So you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, to talk about that. Remember?
Yeah.
We literally brought it around full circle. I'll be doing myself a disservice if I work while my brain is fatigued. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, my brain is fatigued right now, but talking is.
It's like an outlet.
I've been talking for so long, like in my music,
Mhm.
and we're getting better at the pod or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That this is just, it's easy. This is not even requiring intense brain power.
Right,
So
right.
This is like
Therapy.
yeah.
It's that therapy like we were talking about. I mean, at the end of the day, we get to express our subconscious in a way. With every episode, whether we do have a guest or don't. That's what's really cool. Like we get to dive into like our own minds whenever we're picking somebody else's mind.
I feel like if I can give some weird advice, I feel like a lot more people should do a podcast.
I think so, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when we first started, like I feel like it was so hard to break out of my bubble of okay, what do I need to talk about now? Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean or no? Like
Rather
I
than
don't
just
know.
talking.
This has really made
Opened
me
you
a
up.
better speaker.
Yeah.
And I could even
Same.
put that skill. I've noticed that skill at work. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
When I'm talking to people. You know what I'm saying? It's like before, people would say some sly stuff and I wouldn't know how to respond. And now somebody will say anything and I have a word for it.
Right back.
Or a no word for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But it's just being able to speak. I
That's
think
power.
It's very. I would say it's a big skill to have.
And you put me on to the idea of like, I remember whenever you first came up with the idea of doing the pod, I was like, I remember like the first thing I thought about was like, nobody's gonna want to hear me talk about nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, who's like, yo, what are you talking about? But I mean, but that's not the idea. The idea is bettering ourselves with each pod moving forward. And I've noticed it in my everyday to day life, in my relationships that I have with my friends, my family, everybody that's close in my circle. I understand how to formulate my vocabulary better.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Like for real? Have you noticed talking and doing this pod, has it really increased your game when it comes to conversations, interacting with people? Like
10 out of 10
You know what I
has
mean?
genuinely improved who I am as a human being because I'm able to express better of what I want to rather than being stuck in my head.
that's cool. Huh?
It's really cool. That's the reason.
I probably won't even realize it because to me this is becoming the normal.
Yeah, I feel
You know what
that.
I mean? But
yeah.
that's kind of cool. Like maybe other people view us in like not on the pod, but like whenever we're with somebody in a real person-to-person interaction. Like I wonder if they get that like not.
This month,
I don't
talking.
mean, I don't mean like glow.
Just like, yeah.
You know what I mean by like a glow?
It's just the way you carry yourself. If you're able to speak what you want to speak and then give the points across and then stay in tune, I feel like that is a very structural way to being like, yo, that person carries himself very well, and I respect that. That's what I think.
I'm privileged and I'm becoming more and more numb to the untalented, unskilled people. Because being on this grind,
Yeah.
or this is like normal.
Yeah.
People don't start podcasts or start anything for that matter because it's so hard. You know what I'm saying? And now this is feeling like, what could I be doing more now? Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Remember we've had
That's passion.
we've had conversations about when you're working so hard and you're hitting your limit, but then that thing becomes easy enough to where, you know what I'm saying?
Like
Now,
that 8 miles that I'd be running.
now you could double the work
I can run 10 miles.
and it
now.
won't overdo yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting
You're closing gaps.
way past that point.
Yeah.
Like, how do I have time to go to work, sleep, go to the gym, have a family, and do this pod
Right.
and do my music?
And music.
Where does that even come from? You know what I mean?
I also feel like you're very well at splitting up your time in such a scheduled way. Like your planning is on point better than I know
Is
anybody
it?
else. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
I mean, there's other times like
Well, see what I mean though? I don't even realize that. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting that. That's
You know what I'm
part of
saying?
what I was talking about where it's just become so norm
exactly.
that it's like, is my planning good? Like,
But see, like you've already, even before all this, like it was already here, right? So now that you've put more load onto you, the more that you put more experience behind your load.
I get what you were putting
But,
down.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like you raised the bar, so now it's like doing 10 push-ups. Like if you did 10 push-ups every single day for a year, you're gonna be like, why am I only doing
It's
10?
not gonna be anything.
It's not gonna be
anymore.
anything. Like so now you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do 100 push-ups today, and you're gonna kill that. So now it's gonna be like, dang, like I wonder what my next limit is before I have to stop. So now that's where the passion comes in again, circulating, is you're able to push yourself for betterment, for improvement always, consistently.
It's cool because most
really
of the
cool.
time when we do episodes, I don't really know what the point of the episode's gonna be.
Yeah.
Like the overall topic, but I can say this now, that it would be to someone's benefit to only do what they like doing. Like
Yeah.
remember I was
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
that I don't want to do videos for anybody, but like you,
Right.
only do what you do or want to do, and then double down on that.
Yes. Yeah.
It all comes down to like
Yeah.
how you disperse your energy. And
Yeah.
I feel like people might be dispersing energy in so many places, trying to be a pleaser.
That's the
You
thing.
know, or-
the main thing is a pleaser.
Yeah, trying to be a pleaser and to get the validation from people that you love. And it could be your downfall in a way. Because the things that really matter, aka my music and my podcast, aren't getting the energy they need to prosper.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to fight week for you, you know what to avoid. Yeah, that's the garage. It's okay though. You know what to avoid leading up to your fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know to put
Myself
your
first.
focus here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I can be the most efficient. But that was my biggest thing. I didn't know how to do that for a long time because I was so in tune with like people pleasing, and I was so in tune with getting validation from other people.
It's
and their
hard though
opinions.
because we're human.
Yeah.
We do seek validation from others. We're crowd mentality. You know, we like
social creatures.
being a part of
A
something.
belonging.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, I mean, it's just natural.
Hmm.
That's why leaders stand out so much.
It's like, how are you able to do that? Because I'm able to step back and do what I have to do. Just do it. Yeah,
This is the first time where just do it, I felt didn't really hit as hard
no.
as it normally does. Not gonna lie. I don't know
Me,
why.
it's like, just do it. Like, as long as you get the shit done. Because not a lot of people get shit done. So as long as you're able to like genuinely get shit done, that's the one thing that matters. And people really let their lives affect whatever they need to get done. So now
Is that
they
just
fall
not?
into
Is
the
that
cloud.
just not like a proper, like properly giving your energy to things? You know what I mean? Are they misusing their energy, so therefore now they can't get what they have to done?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they're spreading their energy out so much that they don't know how to control all their energy into this one thing now. Now they have to split it up because that's what they're used to. And the discipline with the passion comes with spreading all that energy into one focal point. I need to shut out all the lights, all the noise into this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what I think.
So, coming from somebody that's been consistently putting out the pod every Monday, you know, myself and
Right.
you, I think that what I could say is your time and your energy needs to be placed in the right areas properly. Because if it's not, you're not going to be able to be consistent. And you know what I mean?
So would that be that saying, even if you're off by a degree, you're off by a mile?
Yeah, like
Because let's just say if you're off by a degree, over a mile distance, you're gonna be off a mile from where you need to be.
oh, I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
So like, yeah, to expand on what you're saying, it's if you're like leaning in a direction that you shouldn't, or you're putting energy in a different direction, over time it's gonna derail your whole operation.
Right.
Because that small degree of shift over time ends up being now
A
you're
huge, yeah.
you're way off course.
Imagine if they were a small degree off building the pyramids. Like, they wouldn't be as clean as neat as they are.
I'm not gonna just sit here and say that I'm perfect, but what I will say is that over time, you know, over experience, I've definitely learned to be able to focus my energy into the things that it needs to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That benefit.
And like, I think you can relate that
Yeah.
to your fighting, right?
And just like everyday
Anything,
life.
like
yeah,
a
just
job.
anything.
Whatever. Right?
Anything that I try to do, like all my energy is focused on self-improvement.
And does that come with age?
Yeah,
or
that's
is
maturity.
That, but
experience.
what I was gonna say is it a skill that we've acquired because we hustle, we
Well,
work.
that's just level of maturity.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you can be grown, but that doesn't mean you're mature enough to do what you got to do.
Right.
We're coming to a point now to where we're mature enough to see something that we got to get done and get it knocked out.
So wait, so could there be mature people that are horrible at that? Or no, is like literally your definition of being mature, like being able to point your energy in the right direction?
I think that you could be misguided with certain things, and so you can still be mature. But then that's what I was saying. There's levels of maturity, so you can still be very mature for what's going on and what you do in your lane. But if you're not mature enough to see things that aren't gonna have a positive outcome on that one thing that you're focusing on, then that's when it comes into like, oh, you're like a lower degree mature. Compared to if you're fully mature, and the older we get, we're gonna get more mature, and the more experience that we have, we're gonna have more maturity.
So if there's you versus you, right? But one of you is just that much better at focusing their energy.
Yeah.
That person's just essentially more built up, more experienced, more mature, like you're saying.
Yeah. More discipline, more maturity.
Makes sense.
Because at the end of the day, like if you're grown, you know you have to go to work to get that check. It doesn't matter what your work is. You know you have to pay the bills. That's mature, and you see the thing that you have to do to get done, and you're gonna get it done because.
You know, I remember there was a point in time where I was calling off work. Like
I remember.
it was just like, oh yeah, FMLA tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm good.
Like at least twice a week, 3 times a week, and now it's like it's not even a thing. Like if I want the check
that you want,
that I need to get in order to
sustain,
pay bills, eat whatever the fuck I want to eat, you know, operate the pod the way I want it to operate, ads, whatever, right? If I that needs to be, my check needs to be a certain check in order to sustain all this.
Right.
And that's where I'm at right now. I need this sustainable.
Right.
I need my
That's your sleep.
That's my bliss.
Yeah. My dog. And we still underrated at the end of the day.
Still underrated. Still underrated because I'm just numb to a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was saying about the work process to putting this pod out, it's become like so easy. It's not even work. I don't even put energy in it anymore. Like it's just I know how to do it. I know what needs to get done, and that's it. I never even edit clips if I'm feeling off. Like legit. I'll edit the clip as soon as I'm feeling like I'm in a good headspace. You know what I mean?
That's really cool.
And I've become really good at putting myself in the good, okay, now it's time to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot better at that because I'll be tired and then I'll be like, you know what? This clip has to go out by 2:00. So I'm tired, but I'm able to, okay, I need to get this done. Right. It's going to take me 30 minutes, an hour. After that, I'm going to take a nap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, did not expect this pod to be that long.
On the way to go watch UFC 300.
So yeah, let's, we're going to wrap it up right here. Definitely the pod turned, the whole kind of theme of the pod was like fight. You know, the fight stuff we talked about, UFC 300. We ended up getting into some like
subconscious insights.
Maybe, yeah, on like how to be better. You know what I'm saying? Or what our trials and tribulations.
Subconscious improvement.
We got to the level that we're at right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
because I don't like. There's sometimes where like I feel like I don't know that I'm improving in the moment until like I'm at the end of that moment.
I don't know a lot of times.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I
get to physically see like myself, because like I did that a little sharper, I did that a little faster, I did that a little better. It's like I get to see it like in a physical aspect. That's what I mean, like with the fighting thing. But sometimes in the moment of like grinding, I don't get to see the moment of improvement until the end of the moment.
It's cool because you're always great. You know what I mean? Like you'll get those moments when you realize, wow, I am great. But you're just always great. You know what I mean? If you're on that right path and you're putting your energy in the right spots, you're not
the right degree.
deviating,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the greatness. You know what I mean?
That's Kobe.
Kobe?
That's Kobe.
Why is it Kobe?
Kobe's great.
I get Kobe.
It was Kobe. He always stayed on that line.
Oh, you're talking about like his moral compass.
Yeah. Oh. That's Kobe at the end of the day. Like he knew what he needed to do to be great, and that's all he focused on was being great. And I feel like
he does seem like he was like one of the biggest people in like maybe sports to have such a
motivational, inspirational impact.
Like his lane that he was in and why he did what he did.
He was the greatest in what he did.
I wonder if he always had that mentality or if it came a little bit later.
I think
You know what I mean?
I think there was a degree of that mentality, and then the more that he matured, the more that he knew that if he kept that mentality, this is what he could be.
Kind of like what we were talking about, how I
Earlier.
didn't know why or I was doing the music. I just had a gut feeling that this is what I liked.
Yeah.
And then now I'm in it. Like, I do love doing music. Like that kind of thing. What you were saying?
This is your way of prospering. You know what I mean? Like you found your lane where you can prosper to your fullest potential.
Yeah, I'm not confused at all. Like to dig in a little bit of
Yeah.
that. I have no confusion as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. No doubt. I like doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. And you can tell, like, anybody that's ever brought up the pod or music or even just your Instagram posts, anything of the sort, the fight videos, they've always said, like, wow. You know what I mean? That I've always received nothing but very positive compliments, influence from that. So it's really cool to see other people see the work that gets put in with the consistency of how well your quality is. But that's passion behind that.
Well, I'm glad to be able to do it with like a partner in crime.
My
You know
dad.
what I'm saying? So yeah, let's I could talk all night.
I know. Yeah, today's a good day.
Today's a great day.
Great.
Today's extra great because it's UFC 300 and tomorrow starts fight week, right? We got Zay's fight next Saturday. So this will be a great night. Go see the fights. It's becoming like almost tradition. Like we're going to see the fights before a fight. Like, you know what I mean?
In a way,
it's
yeah.
like getting in that zone,
Yeah.
getting in that mindset of just sick. Like this is where we're at. So little heads up, next week. Not sure if Zay will be there or not because he's got weigh-ins. He's got a little bit of stuff to do. But if he pops in, he'll pop in. If not, don't fret. We got you covered. It's not just going to be me. We're either going to have 2 or 3.
Feel that.
All right, y'all. So this has been another Game Talk. Appreciate y'all. If you guys can, share this. Get it out there. I'm working on a bunch of stuff to really get this pod growing.
Yeah, prospering.
So any little bit of help, hit that like button, hit that
It
share.
goes a long way.
It'll go a long way. So, all right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.